Hey guys, it's Maggie and I am back today, and today I'm excited for this video because we are going to be making a travel ostomy kit, and look at how cute this is. I would say that this video is good for anybody planning a trip, a little vacation, and you need to bring your ostomy supplies along with you. You want to carry them in a discreet, cute, and safe way. This is going to be the video for you. For myself, I am not planning a trip nor a vacation unless you consider a hospital trip a vacation, which personally I don't. I don't think the food is as good, the beds are not as comfortable, yeah. But at this moment, I am quite pregnant. I am expecting a little baby, and I expect I'll have a hospital visit in the coming weeks. That's why I want to make this travel ostomy kit. Originally, I had all my supplies put into a plastic bag, which is great. It keeps everything together, but it's getting warm out and I'm starting to think about keeping my hospital bag in the car along with my ostomy supplies. And my fear is that if we hit a warm day, my supplies are going to melt. I've had that happen before where I had an ostomy bag sitting in the car, I had to do a change, and it was a little too late by the time I realized the plastic had melted together and nothing could drain into the bag. Not a great time. So I'm thinking, man, I should probably try to avoid that if I can. So that's why I got this little insulin cooler. That's actually what this is. It's for medication, not necessarily for ostomy supplies, but you can use it that way. And because it's a cooler, it'll keep things a little bit more temperature controlled inside of it. So I'm excited to pack this thing with you. I'm going to show you everything I plan on bringing to the hospital, explain why I'm bringing certain supplies and how I'm going to use them. But before I show you this cool little cooler, I want to thank today's sponsor, 𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗, something else that's coming to the hospital with me. 𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗 is my favorite zero sugar electrolyte drink mix. They come in these individual packets here that you place into water, and this is how I stay hydrated, even though sometimes my ostomy does not behave. I tend to lose a lot of fluid and a lot of electrolytes through my ostomy. This is how I make up for it. Dehydration can be very serious, and when you're traveling or if you're going into labor, that's not something you want to deal with. So I always make sure to keep up on my 𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗. It's got 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 of potassium, and 60 of magnesium. And I always say it feels like the perfect mix and amount of electrolytes for me, because as soon as I start to experience any sort of dehydration symptoms, like the dry mouth, the fatigue, the headaches, those are the three things that I really experience the most. As soon as I get one of these babies down, I can feel the difference. And long-term dehydration is just not good for your body because it can impact a lot of different functions that your body does. So this is a great way to stay hydrated. My husband, who is perfectly healthy and has all of his organs still, he enjoys 𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗 as well, and they are so kind in offering a free 8 single serving packet sample with any order of 𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗. I personally love the grapefruit one. I also have my raspberry one here, and I'm actually going to include it in my ostomy kit because I think it goes along well. You know, my ostomy tends to dehydrate me. These are my rehydrators. You can get that free 8 single serving packet sample with your order by going to drinkelement.com/LetsTalkIBD. That's drinkelement.com/LetsTalkIBD. I know you guys are really gonna enjoy it, so make sure to check them out. All right, let's take a look at this little cooler. I'll put anything that I mention in links below in the description, but this little cooler is made for medication. So it has this little insert here. I'm not going to use it because I think it just takes up space, but I thought this would be a little bit cool to show you. It's got all these different little pockets that if you were using it for insulin or medication, you could put your alcohol wipes, you could put your pen, I don't know what this would be for. Maybe you could put your Lancet, whatever you wanted. You've got all these little storage pockets. And on the front here, it looks like you could put your prescription, which is always really important when you're traveling. Bring the prescription with you because you never know. You might be asked if you're going through TSA. We're going to set this aside though, because I'm just focusing on the cooler itself. So it does have 2 pockets inside here, which will be helpful to store things like the accessory items, like the wipes and whatnot. But I really just want it open so I can see everything and fit the maximum amount of supplies that I can. The more that I bring, the shorter the visit will be, the more prepared I am. That's my superstition here. So that's why we're gonna pack it full, even though my hope is it's a very short hospital stay. You wanna make sure, I would say, to have at least double what you expect to use for however long you're gonna be gone. So that's what I'm gonna do, plus a little bit more. Now, something that I do, and I know I get questions on this all the time, people find it very strange, is I use non-drainable bags. So very quickly, I'm going to explain why, because if I don't, I get questions out the wazoo. So I really like non-drainable bags with my ileostomy, which tends to be a bit more high output. I have to empty more frequently for a few reasons. I actually do empty these bags. I empty through the ring, so I will remove it from my flange because it is a two-piece system. I will empty through the ring into the toilet. I find it so much easier to wipe the ring clean, and really so much faster to wipe that ring clean than cleaning the end of a disposable pouch. It really cuts down my time in the bathroom. I've had many people recommend different things to help expedite cleaning the end, but I've been doing this for probably a decade, probably a decade at this point. I also like that it lays really flat under my clothing. Drainable bags tend to hit at a weird spot on me, like right where my leg folds, like at my hip. And it doesn't feel great, but it also shows a little bit of a bulge. So this lays really flat. The thing about the bag that I use Convitex moldable flange, and they're Natura bags. They don't make these without filters. So they do make bags, they do make non-drainable bags without filters, but the ones that I have found are just plastic on the front. You can kind of see through them, even like when they're completely dry on the outside. I know sometimes when these bags get wet, you can see a little bit through the fabric here. I feel like the ones that are just plastic on the front, you can really see everything. Like, it's not really opaque. So I just prefer this bag, but it has a filter. And because these are really designed for somebody with a colostomy who has a little bit thicker output, the filters leak and that's frustrating. The bags do come with stickers that are meant to be used in the shower to help protect the filter from getting wet. I was told by one of the Convitec representatives that I could try using it to prevent the filter from leaking. They don't stick very well. They don't stick very well for those purposes. They're great for showering, but when the fluid is coming from the inside out, it makes the sticker not stick. So what I find is that I have to do a little artwork. We have to be a little bit creative with these bags. A little bit of prep work, really, if you will. So what I do is I actually flip the bag inside out through the ring. I cut out the plastic. There's this little clear piece of plastic that my output tends to get stuck under. I cut that out very carefully, and then I will glue the filter shut from the inside. So there's these little, there's this little rectangle filter here, and on the sides is, you can kind of see, it's like a charcoal filter. Well, I cover that up with glue from a glue gun, hot glue it shut basically. And then once that's done, I'll flip the bag right side out again, and I will hot glue the front of the filter as well to make sure that none of my output leaks out. I've been doing this for a couple of years now, I want to say, and it's worked so far for me. So I know that sounds like a little bit tedious, like a lot of work. Why don't you just use a drainable? It's just what I prefer. It's what works really well for me. That's the great thing, is there are so many options in the ostomy world that we can all pick the way that we want to do things, and this is just what I prefer. So anyways, I prepared a whole bunch of these bags because this is what I'm thinking. I'm in labor, I have an epidural, I'm stuck in bed. How do I deal with my ostomy? My guess is my stoma is not going to be very active. That's my guess. I think the medications that they give you and labor itself, I think slows your intestines down a bit. But just in case I do need to empty, this is a really easy way for me to empty, because I can just take this bag off, dispose of it, and pop a new one on. And so I've prepared myself a number of these bags that I'm going to place in my little cooler here. Hold on. I'm trying to get it so you guys can see. Stay. We're doing our best here. All right, so what are we thinking? I don't know how many I prepped. Probably like 9 or 10. So let's do 8. Does that sound good? 8 bags, because I mean, once I'm up and walking, I can empty them. It's just while I'm stuck to a bed. That's really my concern. Okay, so I've got these. Now, how do you dispose discreetly of your old ostomy supplies? This is something that kind of bothered me because some companies do provide little trash baggies. I don't think my Convatec ones come with them, but Hollister does, Coloplast does. They tend to be see-through. Like, I feel like they've gotten thinner over the years, and I'm so self-conscious. In case there's a little bit of output, I try to make sure that these are as empty as possible before disposing. It's what you're supposed to do. But in case any output seeps out of the bag into the trash baggie, I just feel like people are going to see it. I have a really great option for you. This company is fantastic. I got these little trash baggies on Amazon. It's from Fab Little Bag. This is a company from the UK, and they make these bags that don't let odor escape. They're completely opaque. They are adhesive closures, and they've got these little holes here, so that way my fingers are a little short, but you place your finger right there on either side, so your thumb and your pointer finger, and you can open it up. They're fantastic. So I'll put the link below for them. And they are 55% made from plants, 45% recycled materials. And they're meant to be used with ostomy supplies, diapers. I was like, perfect, I'll bring it for diapers as well. Put it in a diaper bag. But they're great if you want to discreetly dispose of your ostomy bag and really seal it shut. So these babies are coming along with me. I've got a stack here. There we go. So I think I'll put these in the bottom. And actually, you know what I want to do? Let me get a couple of my elements here. Let's do 2 grapefruits and 1 raspberry. I think that's good. I'll put them in the bottom, just so I have them. Okay, so let me put that, we put it right here, right? Get these guys going. So just a good thing to have on hand, just in case you're ever out, especially on vacation. I feel like if you're going somewhere warm, that's when you get dehydrated. All right, so let me put these guys in there, and then let me take these bags and I will fold up half of them, put them like that, fold up the other half, and put them like that. And you can see that this guy is getting pretty full as it is. That's why I took the insert out, but it still has space for the things that I need. I wanted it to be as small as possible to fit in my hospital bag, because, you know, the more that time passes and I think about it, I'm like, oh, I should bring this, I should bring that. My bag is full. Okay, so then I've got some of my flanges here, and I want to add one more because I was lazy one day and I opened up my supply kit and was like, I'll just steal a flange. I'm going to take this guy, we're going to add it to here. I have, I think, 5 flanges. So that should be good as long as the flanges stick. I've been very fortunate that my stoma did grow in size, and I really thought I was going to have to size up in my flanges, but then it stopped getting bigger. So it's about, I want to say it's close to 1.5 inches in diameter, whereas normally pre-pregnancy it was 1 inch, so it did get big, but for the last few weeks it has not changed. Okay, let me get the air out of this. Do the best that we can. The reason that I took them out of their packaging is that this was a little too wide to fit in there. So if I put them in a Ziploc bag, it preserves them a little bit, doesn't dry them out, and I can better fit them in here. Okay. I do want to add, what did I do with them? I do want to add a pair of scissors just in case. I want to cut off the fabric because I've been doing that. I've been cutting the fabric off of my flanges here. Yeah, we'll add that. And then I want to add some of my little rings. So I have been switching between the 𝙗𝙤𝙬𝙧 cohesive seal and the Ostoform seal. The reason is I really like these 𝙗𝙤𝙬 seals. I think that they get jelly enough to really give me a good seal around my stoma, but they have been breaking down quite a bit, especially as my stoma has grown and I've needed to really mold these flanges well. I've noticed that there's been a lot of sticky stuff when I remove my bag from my flange, and that has been kind of annoying. So the Ostoform seal has not been doing that. These though, the reason I like switch back and forth is these are not the right size for me anymore because my stoma got bigger. So I'm awaiting a larger size. If I get them in time, we'll be good and I'll switch them out. But for now, I'm bringing both. And I think what I'll do, these seals are a little bit bigger, so maybe I'll just put like 3 on the side here, right? How can I do this? Gotta do a little bit of Tetris, which I'm not great at. I'm gonna stick them, no, let's do it over here. I'm gonna stick them over here and it'll be fine. I told you it's gonna be compact. Okay, and then for my cohesive seals, I'm gonna take 3 of those and I will put it in this front pocket along with the scissors. And then I'm going to take some of my adhesive remover wipes. These I use the most often. I do like the spray, but my spray bottle is giant and I can get away without using it. So I've got my Esenta adhesive remover wipes, great for cleaning. And then I have my old wipes that are also from Convatec. Like, I guess this is the update. The Esenta is the update from their Sensicare version, because I don't believe they sell this anymore. So I'm just trying to use up old supplies before the new. How many should I bring? We'll do 6. We'll do 6. Okay. Place that in there. And then my skin barrier spray. I love this stuff. This is also the Sensicare because I've had people send me bottles of it, which I'm so grateful for. So I'm using them up because I really like it. And then when I run out, I'll just get more of the Esenta version because they're both great. But I'm going to put this in here. Is that everything? I think it might be, because we've got our ostomy bags, we've got our ostomy flanges, our ostomy rings, both the Ostoform and the 𝙗𝙤𝙬𝙧. I've got my element in the bottom, the little trash baggies, my adhesive remover wipes, scissors, and it's all in a nice little cooler. Now let's see if we can get it shut. I did want to mention too, this little cooler does come with ice packs. So if you feel like you're doing a day trip and it's going to be really hot, you might want to pop one of the ice packs in here. That might be really helpful. Just wrap it in, you know, maybe a paper towel or something in case it has condensation. But there we go. Actually, fits perfect. I mean, it's definitely bulging here. But I would say that that works really well. And I just feel like this is not as obvious as, you know, a plastic bag, a clear plastic bag with all of my stuff in it. Something that I found helpful too, and I've done this at a couple different hospital trips or when I get procedures, is I will actually take one of those fab little bags. I don't have one because I just put them all in here. I'll take one of those fab little bags and I will place one flange, one bag, like all the supplies that I need to do one change in there, and the hospital will actually label it. They'll put one of my patient label stickers on there and keep it with me. I had that during my fallopian tube removal with the ectopic pregnancy I had. They just kept it with me because they were a little bit worried that they would have to move my stoma in order to remove my fallopian tube. Thankfully they didn't. Thank you. But yeah, they kept the bag with me so that way they'd be able to really easily change my ostomy for me while I was out, which is helpful. And I've had it during like colonoscopies, not colonoscopies, ileoscopies, and endoscopies. And, you know, it was just, I think it made it a little bit easier for the staff to know This is everything she uses. It's all here in one go. I'll even sometimes write out instructions like, hey, this is how I put this on, or I make sure to do this. I think the only other thing that I would like to add to this is my little bottle of Flonase. I only have one left though. What I should really do is just keep it with this and take it out each time I do a bag change, because, you know, I don't do a bag change every day. I do it every few days, so I could easily just grab it and put it right back. That's really the only other thing. And if you're wondering, Maggie, why Flonase? It's a little trick that some ostomy nurses use if you have sensitivity to adhesives, which it seems like I do just a little bit. So I will add a little bit of Flonase. It's got a steroid in it. It's something that you have to check with your ostomy nurse about prior to using, but it's got a little bit of a steroid in it. And I just put it on my skin before I do all my prep work, and it seems to keep my skin calm. All right, well, I think that this is a fantastic way to travel with your ostomy supplies wherever you plan on traveling to. Hopefully it's not a hospital, but this hospital trip is for good reason, so I'm kind of looking forward to it. But I love that I have a nice discreet way to keep my supplies safe and not melted, especially if I'm gonna start keeping this in the car, so I am ready to go whenever she tells me, basically. But thank you so much for watching. Make sure that if you are interested in getting some Element, it's a great electrolyte oral rehydration solution when, you know, you mix it with water. You can get free 8 single serving packets with any order. So head on over to drinkelement.com/LetsTalkIBD to get that. And yeah, look at their flavors. They have some interesting ones. Mango chili, very cool. That's, I think, Zach's favorite. I think right now, I tend to switch, but I think grapefruit right now is my favorite. It's like a little bit tart, a little bit sour, but not too bad. All right. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next. Bye, guys.
Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you are looking for a way to help support my channel, consider liking this video or even subscribing. You can also check out my store at LetsTalkIBD.shop. I have stickers and hoodies like these guys over here, just related to chronic illness and inflammatory bowel disease, something fun. And I also have a coupon code for my YouTube watchers. You could also become a member of my channel, like the wonderful people scrolling on screen here. They've become a member and they have access to videos a little bit earlier. It's a great way to support my channel, and really, just watching my videos means the world. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next.